Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Hangout on Air. So first of all, welcome back. I hope you all had a very nice New Year's, holidays and everything. So this is the first Hangout of this year. And like always, probably I'm all familiar to most of you now. My name is Jonas. I work for the Danish Google Marketing Solutions team as an account manager. And I'm here with Awad.
Hey everyone, my name is Awad. I am a technical specialist here at Google for the Benelux market. And it's good to be back.
Yeah, so very excited to be here again and kick this year off with some good tips for you guys. But before that, let's just jump into the trainings part a little bit, because maybe some of you are excited about these partners trainings we have. Mm-hmm. And actually, we have them all in place, or at least many of them for the upcoming quarter here. So in Stockholm, we have AdWords fundamentals, search, and video trainings coming up. The fundamentals one is basically in a few days, so please sign up if you are interested in that one. In Norway, we have fundamentals, search, and video coming up, and the same goes with AdWords fundamentals here is very soon, and we still have spots left, all in Oslo. And in Finland, we have basically all full, but we have the fundamentals, search, and video, but they're all full. And then in Denmark, in lovely Copenhagen, we have AdWords fundamentals and search coming up in the next few days, still with spots left. And then we have mobile in February. So please also sign up for that one if you're interested.
Yeah. And in the Netherlands, we have a search advertising training coming up soon, and a video advertising training. Currently, they are fully booked. For Belgium, it's the same. All the three are fully booked, but we have an AdWords fundamentals training, a search advertising training, and a video advertising training. As always, if you have applied for these trainings, make sure you sign up individually and not as a team. And if you're applying for the not fully booked ones, sign up individually.
So we just want to make sure that we have enough spots for all you guys, and coffee and drinks and all this. So, all right, perfect. Cool.
So in today's agenda, we decided to talk about the New Year's resolutions we have for 2018 and how we can make sure that AdWords this year will be very successful. So we will start with talking about how we can take advantage of all of the new AdWords features in the new interface. We will talk about how you can test more and how you can work even smarter in the new AdWords interface.
Yes.
So by now, you should be more familiar and more comfortable with using the new AdWords interface. So the month of January is a good month to start taking advantage of all of the new AdWords features available. So we have compiled a list for you of new features for you to consider. So starting with the overall new innovations in the interface. The main ones are the following. I will go through them quickly. So the first one is the promotion extension. I think a lot of you have already made use of this during the holiday season. They are a great way to improve your overall performance, and they are easy to set up. So make sure you continue making use of this and not just in the holiday season.
Exactly. And I think like a great reason to use this is that, let's say you have a sale coming up, instead of having to set up new ads and make changes to the existing ads and so on, you simply set up a promotion extension, and then you set a starting date and an end date. And when the sale is done, it will be removed automatically. So I think that's a great way to highlight when you have a sale going on in an easy way.
Yeah, exactly. And then we'd call bid adjustments. So with these bid adjustments, you can drive more calls to your ads without paying more for a standard click. So they're very easy to make use of, and definitely it's something we would recommend.
So that's especially relevant for you guys who are really interested in driving calls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. And then something you might have already seen in the new interface is the landing pages tab. This is a great page to make use of because it's an easy way to see if you have a mobile friendly landing page and if your consumers are actually converting on your landing pages. And then we are for Gmail ads. So we used to have Gmail ads in the old interface, but now it's a separate campaign, and we see a lot of advertisers making use of this campaign type, which is a great thing. A good reminder is to make use of the 4 different available targeting options that are available. So those are targeting consumers on household income, live events, consumer patterns, and remarketing your site visitors. So make sure you take advantage of these targeting options. And then lastly, we have the ad variations. When it comes to ad variations, the new interface is giving advertisers a great tool to see how small changes in your ad text can have a big impact. So take some time to make use of these experiment tools in the new interface because they can be very useful. So those are the main new innovations in the new AdWords interface. And then when it comes to working more efficiently, what we have seen is that the overview and the cards tab in the AdWords interface is very useful. So you can customize this to your own liking, and it's a great way to see insights into your accounts and even across accounts in order to make sure that you are aware of all of the available all of the things that are going on in your accounts. And then we have the keyboard shortcuts. I've been making use of these, and they are very useful in terms of working more efficiently. So get more familiar with them because they can help you do things way more faster. And then lastly, in the new interface, there are some changes when it comes to targeting. So the first one is the content exclusions. This is a new option, and you can find it under your settings tab. This allows you to apply exclusions across your display, video, and universal app campaigns from one central place in your account. So it's a very easy way to create these content exclusions.
Yeah, so this is especially relevant if, let's say, you have a brand and you don't want to be associated with a certain type of business or content, then you can basically go in here, you just exclude whatever type of content it is, so you don't have to like identify those pages and so on that you don't want to be displayed on.
Yeah. And then with audiences targeting, some of you might already noticed this. So in the old interface, you had the option when it came to audience targeting to choose from target and bid or bid only. This now has changed to targeting and observations, with targeting referring to target and bid and observations referring to bid only. So that's something good to be aware of. And then lastly, something new we have seen is the custom intent. This feature helps you define and reach the ideal audience for your business, and it's a great way to target new potential customers. So what actually happens is that the system looks at keywords and URLs users are actually looking for when they are browsing online, and then the system will match it to your selected targeting.
Exactly. So this new product, Custom Intent, is one of my favorites, to be honest. It's I've seen it work very well.
Yeah.
And basically, there's 2 ways of using it. You can either let the system identify which keywords could be relevant for you, and it will give you some suggestions. But you can also basically yourself just go in and feed the targeting yourself. So let's say you have some really well-performing keywords on search, then you can go in here and you can say, when people are browsing online, I want to target the ones with a certain search history. And this is basically what you do with Custom Intent. So it's a great way of opening up the funnel a little bit to display, but not necessarily making it very broad. So you can make it very targeted here.
Yeah, exactly. So these are the main new things in the AdWords interface. Take some time to become more familiar with them because they can be very useful, and it's a great one to start making use of them so you can be more successful in 2018.
Exactly. So there's always new things happening, and this is just some of the things we're rolling out. We want to highlight that there's definitely more, but these are some of the, and definitely more to come as well. So yeah, so stay updated. You can dial in here, you can read online, and always reach out to us if you have any questions. And I see, by the way, some questions coming in already, so thank you for that. We will make sure to address them at the end of the Hangout here.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. So with all these new features, we want to highlight, and we don't want to spend a lot of time, but just highlight the possibility of using drafts and experiments. This is basically a way to do proper A and B testing. So many of you with maybe an e-commerce background might be familiar with the need to test 2 different landing pages on a website. And this is basically what we offer with the drafts and experiments feature in AdWords. So you can only use this for search and display network campaigns, but basically it's a way for you to test if those new things you want to implement are working well and as intended, or if it's something you need to adjust, or maybe it's not a good fit for you. So what I would recommend here is that you, for example, use it to test different landing pages. Let's say you have a very specific product page and you have a very generic page. So you can kind of test those 2 against each other. The way you do it is you create a draft using that new, like the new landing page, and then you basically say, I want to, for example, split it 50-50, this landing page and this campaign versus the normal traditional one. You can also use this to test out bidding strategies. Let's say you want to test out target CPA. Currently you're using manual CPC, then you can see what is the impact of having this different bidding strategy. So definitely check it out. Just search for drafts and experiments online and you will find lots of info, and you can also reach out to us if you have any questions. Yeah. Then finally here, we're always talking about working smarter. So I think it's important to highlight that by taking advantage of automation, one thing is that you can potentially get better results with the campaigns. Another very, very important aspect here is that it can help you save time. So basically it will clear up time for you to spend time on more strategic initiatives, more value bringing things, I would say. So the way it works, and when I talk about automation, I really talk about automated bidding here. So the way it works with our automated bidding solutions is that we use real-time signals. So let's say there's one consumer searching for Nike or shoes or whatever. Then the system will go in and it will look at the real-time signal. So it'll basically be all auction-based. So that person, there will be a certain set of data, and the next person who's searching, there will be another set of data. Yeah. So it's very much real-time, and there's a great way for you to kind of take all those signals into account that manually you would not be able to do it. It's thousands of signals. So another important thing here is that automated bidding will take conversion data into account. So let's say you have a lot of conversions in your account. It will basically look at those and then it will try to match it with the goals you have. So maybe there's certain consumers that are more likely to convert, and then the automated bidding will start focusing on those rather than the ones that are not likely to convert. The important thing here is that the right bidding strategy for you really depends on the business goals you have. So let's say you have, for example, a goal of more revenue, and you have a normal e-commerce shop. You can probably the best fit here is target ROAS if you feed AdWords with the conversion data from your e-commerce tracking. And let's say you just want conversions. Maybe you don't have revenue data. It could be target CPA or maximize conversions. And then if the main goal here is to get clicks, maybe you can use maximize clicks. So it's just a way for you to get an overview and think about the goal you have in mind. And then I would say to test this out, use the drafts and experiments and have a proper testing period because it takes some time for the system to learn. This could be, for example, 2 hours for the system to ramp up, 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks after that to kind of evaluate the campaign. And when you're testing it out, I would recommend to use large campaigns with a lot of conversion data or just data in general, because the system tends to work better with the more data you give it. So, so this is a way for you to try to think about using automation. If you have the right attribution model, for example, none last click, it's definitely also better because the system will have the right data to base all the automation on. All right, so I think that's it for now. Let's jump quickly to the questions. And I see we have quite a few questions today, so let's see if we can answer this or if we have to highlight it next time. Okay, so there's a question here saying, if I set the campaign to start immediately, it is not possible to change the start date, or is it? So I guess what you mean here is if the campaign has already started. So in this case, I'm actually not entirely sure.
I don't think you can pause it and then start a new campaign date. Yeah. But if the campaign is already started, then
I think it's a matter of has the campaign received impressions or not. So if it has not received impressions, but it's just like start date now, and then it's still in review, you can still go in and change the starting date.
True.
Then we have a question called, in which countries are live events available? So live events, that's a very good question. I think to get you the full list, let's check up on this, or you might know it.
In terms of Gmail ads, right?
I guess it's in terms of Gmail ads, yeah.
I think for now it's available everywhere because they rolled out Gmail ads to all of the countries. Yeah. So it is available. If it's not available in your account, get in touch with your account manager and then they can see what the issue is. But it should be available in all the accounts. So the 4 targeting options with Gmail ads are available everywhere.
Yeah, cool. But in terms of live events in general, let's give you an overview next time.
Yeah.
Okay, then we have, what about the Google display low quality placements? So I'm not entirely sure what is meant by this. So yeah, please try to explain, and then we'll jump to the next question here. What is the difference between target CPA and maximize conversions? Target CPA will be maximizing my conversions around the desired CPA, isn't it? What is maximizing conversions doing exactly? So the thing is here that in some cases you might not have a certain CPA in mind. Basically your goal could be, I have a budget, I just need as many sales as possible. Maybe it's not that important how much it costs per sale. So here it would be maximize conversions I would choose. So let's say you just want as many conversions as possible. You don't have a target CPA in mind, then you go with maximize conversions.
Exactly.
If you have a target CPA in mind, definitely use that bidding strategy instead. Okay, and Kim, thank you so much. Then we have, in terms of live events, you say, regarding my question, is it only sponsored ads or also on regular display ads? So as far as I'm aware of, it's only on Gmail ads right now, but let's check up and we will give you a full list of the live events rollout and so on next week. Helene, you say that you would have to manually start the campaign. It would be nice to be able to put a start date. I definitely see your point here. The way it works now is that then you set in a start date from the very beginning when you create the campaign. So I hope this works for you. Let's see the clarification of the display question here. There are still a lot of spam display placements showing up when not using manual placements. How to prevent showing up on this kind of size? You can't exclude them manually and have already excluded the low quality categories. So
yeah, I think for this question, it's best to get in touch with your account manager so we can look at what the actual issue is. Because usually we would say just use content exclusions. And if that's not working, then it's probably a technical issue.
Yeah, so definitely get in touch with either your account manager, if you have one, or the technical team.
Yeah.
Give them a call, and then we'll look into your specific case here to clarify what's happening. Should definitely not be taking place.
Yeah.
All right. So I think this is it for now. Also because of the time. So we'll make sure to follow up next time with the live events question, and that's a very good question. And then we'll let me see here. Another last question here. Can you tell the department for Google partner that if I want to build a campaign before it should start, it's not so good that if just a code provider. Yes, we'll make sure to pass this question on. And that's perfect. Great. All right. Perfect. All right, guys, thank you so much for dialing in. We're a little bit out of time here, so we'll make sure to follow up next time with the questions.
Yep.
And yeah, then thank you for this time, and see you again in 2 weeks.
See you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.